Welcome to the Airgun Show. In this week's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at the Gamo HPA MI Tactical brake barrel gas ram. But before that, we're joining Richard Saunders as he gears up for a busy day targeting rabbits and corvids.
So I'm hoping that this is part one of a really busy day actually. I've come down to one of my permissions. It's a horse equestrian centre, and the rabbits aren't usually an issue here, to be perfectly honest. They keep themselves to themselves in the surrounding fields, but every now and then the population gets big enough that the rabbits start coming into the paddocks, and by digging holes in the paddocks they represent a risk to the bloodstock. You know, if a horse puts a hoof down a rabbit hole and breaks its leg, it's probably going to have to be destroyed. So the owners give me a call, ask me if I can come down and trim the numbers down a little bit. Now there's lots of cover around here, and to be honest the rabbits aren't shot that often, so I'm hoping that I shall be able to stalk in range of a few of them. Now when I finish that, the plan is I'm going to go up to another one of my permissions, a farm just down the road. It's a sheep farm where I'm going to meet up with my mate Neil and take care of some corvids that have been playing havoc with the newborn lambs. Well, that one was bang on my zero, about 30 metres. I saw him from the hedgerow and I lasered him. He's about 33-34 metres and he ran into me a little bit actually. He had like a dark mark underneath his eye, but I'm pretty sure he's a healthy rabbit, but I'll go and check in a second. Probably a good time to mention the gear. The rifle is a Day-State Wolverine R. It's the C-type, the C-cylinder rifle, 12 foot-pounds, .22 caliber. It's got an 11-shot magazine, side lever action. Yeah, really liking this rifle. The scope is a 4-16 by 50, and that is held on with a set of Sportsmatch scope mounts. And I've also attached my GoPro via the Eagle Vision kit, so I can take some footage through the scope. So I just had a little walk down this hedgerow and I saw a couple of rabbits about 70 or 80 metres away. Now they hopped back into the hedgerow, but I don't think they were spooked. So the breeze, what there is blowing into my face, which is in my favour. So I'm just going to have a little walk down the hedgerow, get myself tucked in somewhere and hope that they come out. Well, I don't know if that was the same two rabbits. I think it probably was actually. They both came out, they chased each other around for a little while. I thought the first one was a little bit closer, so I gave it a little bit of hold under, aimed at his neck, but I hit bang on in the neck and he went straight down. And then within a few minutes, the second one came back out again, went to have a little sniff of his mate, and I aimed dead on him and dropped him with a nice clean headshot. Well, that was pleasing. I spotted that rabbit from the other side of the paddock, and I had to backtrack, stalk around behind some stables, across the field, then up this hedgerow, and he was still sat there as good as gold. There's some sort of workings behind here that creates a constant noise, and that probably helped me a little bit, but I was able to get within 30 yards and drop him nice and cleanly. Anyway, time's getting on, and I do want to get over to the other farm and meet up with Neil so that we can have a crack at those corvids. So we're down on the second permission of the day. It's now getting towards evening. It's a sheep farm, and although Neil and I have been hitting the crows and the rooks pretty hard for the last few weeks, to be honest, there's still a sizable population around, and because the lambs, the sheep are lambing all year round, the crows and the rooks and the jackdaws are a real problem because they'll attack the newborn lambs and even have a go at the pregnant ewes when they topple over in the field.
It's a good spot over here. The crows tend to land in the dead branches of a tree about 50 metres away. That's why I'm using an FAC rated 2.2 Daystate Delta Wolf. Clean as a whistle, that one.
So this is a really busy yard, and I thought that with all the coming and going, trucks going through here, the crows would ignore me stood behind the truck, but looks like they're a bit too cute for that. But well, I had to thread a pellet through the trees there, and all I could see was his head, but I hit him smack in the head, and he clung onto the branch for a few seconds and then fell straight down. I think I gave the camera a bit of a clonk though, so apologies if the footage is a little bit skew with.
Well, that was another one off the same tree, about 50 metres away, stone dead.
Well, that was a jackdaw, and to be honest, it's the first bird I've seen in quite a while. They're obviously wising up a little bit, but I've heard Neil take a few shots. So I go and find Neil, we go and pick up what we've got and call it a day. Thanks for watching.
Rich Saunders enjoying double success on the fur and feather there. Next up, I'm taking a look at the Gamo HPA MI Tactical. Gamo airguns do a brilliant job of balancing affordability with features, build quality and performance. Now this is the HPA MI Tactical. It's a great gas ram airgun that comes with some brilliant extras, including a scope, mount and bipod, and all of that comes in with a retail price of just £279. This airgun is a fairly standard 114 centimetres long and tips the scales at a pretty light 2.7 kilos before you fit the scope. Now, it's well balanced, it feels good in the shoulder, and it's a very manageable airgun that I think should suit shooters of all sizes from teenagers right through to adults. Some of the weight saving on this rifle is through its tough synthetic stock. Now, it's an ambidextrous handle in a pretty typical sporter style, and it features an extremely handy height adjustable cheek piece. Now that feature means that you can ensure perfect eye alignment whether you're using the supplied telescopic sight or the open sights, which also come fitted. The stock features some pretty grippy stippling on the forend and on the pistol grip, and that pistol grip has got a really nice steep rake. Now, another feature of the stock that I really like is the squashy butt pad, and that's got inserts that can be removed to make it even more squashy. Another big plus point for the HPA MI Tactical stock is the removable Picatinny type accessory rails on either side of the forend. Now, you could use them for the attachment of a lamp or a laser, but their main purpose is to attach the supplied bipod. The folding bipod is height adjustable and the legs can be extended from 21 to 28 centimetres. Now, you do have to remember that because this is a recoiling airgun, the point of impact is likely to shift depending on what kind of surface you've got the bipod mounted on. Now, however, if you do maintain a consistent point of contact, it will make for a much steadier aim and potentially improve your grouping whether you're shooting from the prone position or the support of a bench. I've already mentioned that this Gamo comes supplied with two sighting options. Now firstly, it's fitted with some really nice fine fibre optic open sights which are great for really fast target acquisition. Now the rear element has got windage and elevation dials that make for quick, clear zeroing. Now also supplied is a 3 to 9x40 zoom telescopic sight which has a duplex style reticle and finger adjustable windage and elevation turrets. Now you also get a really sturdy one-piece mount which features a recoil arrestor pin which drops down into the riser beneath it, and that also has an arrestor block behind it, so you can rest assured that your scope mounting is going to be very secure with this setup. The barrel sits inside a full-length shroud which is vented to serve as a muzzle brake. Now it's not a particularly noisy airgun, so I assume that it is also providing some degree of sound suppression. Now really quite significantly, the grooves of that shroud serve as a terrific handle when you want to get a grip for cocking that gas ram action. It's quite a smooth cocking stroke. Now, it's also quite a long stroke, but it doesn't take an excessive amount of effort thanks to the leverage provided by a fairly long barrel. Now, loading is, as you would expect, direct to the breech, and the lockup feels very secure when you snap it closed. Now, this is a full power airgun producing about 11 foot-pounds. The firing cycle feels nice and smooth, and it's free from any excessive twang. Trigger control can make or break the accuracy of any airgun. Now, shot release on this airgun is very good, and that's a credit to its two-stage CAT trigger. I like the blade design, and the two-stage release is adjustable. However, this one was great straight from the box. The first stage was pretty short and light, but it comes to a very clear stop before a really crisp and predictable second stage break. There's a manual safety catch positioned just in front of the trigger blade. Now, it's probably a little bit too close to the blade by my judgment, but there's no denying that it's easy to access. It's in a safe position when it's pushed back, and you simply push it forwards when you're ready to shoot. The HPA MI Tactical is available in 177 and 22 calibers. This one is a 22, and I have had a great time shooting it. It's a brilliant airgun for backyard plinking, but it also has the power and precision to tackle live quarry over sensible ranges. If you learn how to master its modest recoil, this airgun is perfectly capable of 20mm groups over 25 metres. I can't see any obvious signs of corner cutting on this airgun, and it always amazes me how Gamo consistently manages to produce such solid and dependable airguns at such competitive prices. Now, the engineering is tidy, build quality is great, and the black finish of all of the exposed metalwork looks really neat. You really can't ask for any more than that. So, that is the Gamo HPA MI Tactical. It's affordably priced, but it really is much more than just an airgun for beginners. Powerful, accurate, and equipped with a telescopic sight and that detachable bipod, it really is quite a package. Most significantly though, it's a package built around a decent airgun, which I think is worth its asking price even without those extras. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for in this week's episode, but as ever, we'll be back again in a fortnight, and in the meantime, you can keep up with me on Instagram at Matt Manning Outdoors. Thank you for watching, and please remember, if you aren't already a member of the BASC, have a look at their website and check out the benefits that you could be taking advantage of through Airgun membership.
Don't miss the award-winning Airgun Shooter magazine. It's packed with hunting features, reviews, tactics and insight to help you become an even more successful shooter. Get your copy today in shops or online.